Hello, everyone, and welcome back to CHH Hysteria. I'm your host, Cole,
And I'm your co-host Cooper.
and today we are joined by 350, an upcoming artist in our space. He's super talented and a very creative artist, and we are super excited to have you on today.
Thank you, man. I'm super excited to be here, bro. Look at you guys, man. Look at y'all, man. Chulos.
Man,
Yeah,
but
thank you for
yeah,
having me, bro.
yeah, anytime, bro, for real. So, do you want to start off by introducing yourself quick for anyone that might not be like super familiar with you or your music and like how and why you got into music?
For sure, man. My name is 35 from the east side, Mr. 350, 350. I'm from McAllen, Texas, border town, Mexico, right on the tip of Texas. And man, I've been doing music since I got married, which is in 2018, man. When I was a youngster, I was 20 years old, and man, I just decided to use what I had and really try and make something of my life and bless other people. Uh, so, man, I think I've always had a love for music, and I've always had a love for seeing people's lives being blessed or changed, or just putting a smile on their face with music. Um, so I mean, to do that now for a lot of other people is, it's a blessing beyond measure, bro. But yeah, man. Shoot, man, we're out here in Atlanta, just working, trying to, do more with the gift that God's given us, bro.
Yes. Oh, yeah. And we're talking about your new album today, I Love You Divine, which you let us hear early, and it's amazing. You
Yeah.
honestly, the first thing I said to like my wife after I listened, I was like, "This is easily the best music you've made." And, like it's so good, it blew me away, and I've been a fan, so like, yeah, it's just crazy. So do you want to tell us a bit about what this album is and how it came together?
For sure, man. So this is my debut album. Being like an official artist, I've put out projects before, but I would say they were like trial runs and trying to create projects. You know what I mean? But I feel like this is the first one I could truly call like my introduction to people, and that's exactly what it is, man. Love You Divine is an introduction to 350. You know what I mean? It's short and sweet, nine tracks, 8 9 tracks. I mean, who knows at this time, right? But man, like Love You Divine, man. It is really a very somber tone, very moody. I call it a vibe with a bounce. Um,
Mm.
and this is a statement that I wanted to make about uh my journey with mental health up until this point. I feel like a big part of my calling into music and into life in general is this thing that Aiden and I and Noe, No Excuse, we all three of us represent this. Blaine Stevens, the producer as well. We all This is like what we represent. It's a solace music, a solace with a U, which is peace in your soul, right? Solace in soul. The combination of that peace in your soul. Philippians 4:7. The peace that surpasses all understanding. You know, searching for that. And I think all my life I've been searching for that. I just didn't know I was searching for that. And when I finally got connected with the Lord, I think I finally got to experience what true peace is. Though I wasn't healed at first or right away or even at this moment fully, I know that I am perfectly being made perfect, as the word says. So man, like what we do, and like this album was up until this point like a way of breaking chains, in my life. And I close out the project with a song called Good Without You, and we'll talk about that a little, a little later, right? But like literally saying, if I never have to see you again in my life, I'm good without you. And saying, taking captive of your thoughts. All that, uh, to say, the name has nothing to do with that. It does have something to do with that, but it's completely a little bit more abstract than that. But yeah, man. I mean that's my project, man. I'm really proud of it. It's definitely not the end. It is merely an introduction into uh, my artistry, and I think a lot of people are going to be surprised, to know that, uh, to know the capability of the music that we have, man, and just how it can move, bro.
Yeah. No, I love how you're talking about how like this is um, you know, you're not fully healed, but like you've healed some. And I love how like the album, it shows kind of that, you know, it's always a process of healing, always, you know, getting more peace in your soul from Jesus. You know, like we always have a lot of music. I think it was Derek Minor that was talking about. We always have a lot of music of what we used to be, and like where we're
Right,
like where we're getting, like where we're going, but we don't have that much like music for where we're at. So I love just like your
right.
honesty always in the project. And yeah, like you said, it's 8 songs, at least the version you sent us, and it's super refined. Would you say that you were pretty picky on like what songs you put in, like that they had to match the exact vibe, tell a story? Like, how picky were you when picking songs to go in?
Honestly, not that picky. I think when we created the music, we, like me, my wife, my brother, we've all had a process. We say like it takes a village to create a project. Uh, but when we chose the songs, it was pretty easy to see where things were headed. What I mean, sort of like they were made for this project. And I love the way the Lord, like I'll just start writing, and I'll start to see like uh, what really needs to be said in the middle of my writing. When I don't know what I was writing in the beginning, I just started writing, but there's a message within that, and I think like on blame, I started talking a little bit more about my parents in the middle of their writing, and just who's to blame for this thing that I have, called anxiety, this anxiety disorder that I do have. Who's the one to blame for this? And I didn't know that that's what I was going to write about, but you see how it's fitting towards the narrative of the project, and you just can't deny that it was made for that project. So honestly, it's not a thing where like I create so much music and I pick and choose. Honestly, I do create a lot of music, but you can just tell when something's specially made for this project. And that's why most of this stuff, like the song Coraline, was made before I made Eastside, you know, which
A
is
long time ago.
Eastside. Yeah, man. No, 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 no. Before I made Drive Me Home. Before I made Drive
Mm.
Me Home. Still a while back, but 'cause I remember the apartments I was living in that time. Like there were two different times, but right before I made Drive Me Home, I had made Coraline, and I held on to it because I know I'm like I can't put this out as a single. Like it's part of the project, and it needs to be said within a story context or within a narrative context. But yeah, man, to answer your question, I think the Lord really had an agenda with you know writing this, and just letting me be the tool that created it.
Yeah. Um, no, I love how you held on to that song, even though you've had it for so long. You knew there was a moment for it to be released, and you know you had like the I'm losing the word for it, the discipline in order to like not to drop it. You know, because like what it was it tempting to drop some of these songs that you had, but you knew like you shouldn't, or
Oh
was it
yeah,
pretty easy?
oh yeah. I shot a video to Blame, which was gonna be a single. Maybe about a few months ago. Um, I made a cover. Me and Kayla Creates had actually started working on a cover for Coraline.
Mm.
Because I went through that back and forth of like, should I even do a project? Maybe it's too early for me to put out a project. People don't really know 350 yet, and at the time it was. But again, like the Lord works things out where, you know, um, I just went with the flow, and it got up to this point where now it's finally gonna come out, and it fit the narrative. But yeah, man, I mean, it's always tempting when you find a song that you love to want to share it with the world right away. And in a sense, I did. I got to share it with my wife, my friends, but to actually put it out for people to be blessed by it, for all of, that streaming platforms are gonna be on, like, because once you put it out, it's like always out,
Mm.
even if you take it down, it's somewhere out there, and it's gonna touch people. So it's like that's like a different thing, it's there to be judged, there to be picked apart. Um, but I mean, yeah, it's always tempting to just share something you love with the world.
Yeah. So um, you said that like when you put it out, you know, it's always out there, and it's there to be. Well, I don't remember the exact wording, but be judged,
Like
should be
picked
picked
apart,
apart.
yeah.
So, how do you like deal when someone says that they don't like your music, or like they don't like this or that. Like, does
So
that how's that go?
When Cooper talked crap, bro, that really hurt me. And when he in his first video, nah, I'm just messing with you. But man, it's and it's crazy, dude. I'm in a Bible study with some of my friends and my wife, and we first book we were talking about, it was the freedom of self forgetfulness. You know,
Freaking love that
and
book. Anyways, continue.
Tim Keller, yeah, Tim Keller, man.
So good.
It is so good, man. And talking about the ego, um, when it's overly inflated, when your ego is overly inflated, it's easy, like a balloon, it's easy to just pop it, you know? Exactly. So one little thing, when you hold yourself to high regard and you hold yourself to high standard, you're overly inflated. One little prick will break you down, man. And so it's a battle to forget self. I think a humble person isn't a person that thinks less of themselves. It's a person that thinks about themselves less. And one thing that I got from that book and from the Bible studies and the talks with friends and meditating on that with the Lord, was like that this thing that I'm creating does not give me value. What I'm creating does not give me value. And when you do that, you are opening up the freedom to just create and use it to just bless people. And you no longer see this music you create as something to compare, or something to give you value or to make you a better person or a better artist or whatever. It's merely something to bless other people with, or to just express yourself. And I think that's the way to battle it, man. Knowing that this thing doesn't give me value, and knowing that, like, thinking of yourself less, right? And another point of that was like, I think in the book I think you can kind of help me out. There's like he said like something that is like a part of your body only draws attention to itself when it's hurt or when there's something
Mm.
wrong with it. Like you never think about your knee, when it's working fine. It's only when you have like a strain that you always feel your knee, and your knee's always drawing attention to itself. So the same thing with your ego, like when your ego's um, like always drawing attention to yourself, you're always drawing attention to yourself. That means there's something wrong there,
Mm.
you know.
Mhm.
And the thing is that what's wrong is that you're putting too much value on other things, and like you're getting overly inflated, and you're letting those things deflate you and just tear you down, when in reality your value should come from who God tells you you are, a child of God. um that's honestly the way to do it, man. It's There's a lot of methods of, like, trying to like delete Instagram and all that. Like, I've heard it saying like you'll always find a way for sin. You'll always find a way to around whatever little like life hacks you make to try and set yourself up for success. Like you'll always find a way when your heart wants to sin. So going back to the heart, man, you really got to attack it like that head on.
Yeah, I love how like you went straight to like the root of it. Like I found value. Like you find value in God, and then like that's it. So then you're free to be yourself and free to create the way you want. Like
Right.
that's really
It's
good.
about
And
it becomes about other people. Like it becomes about, seeing you guys being blessed by the album,
mm,
or seeing like what I'm creating hopefully will help other people in their process, being in the middle of perfectly being made perfect as we all are.
mm,
They'll find some relief and some comfort. Because I know for me, like when I first, I thought I was crazy, man. I was always going to the hospital. I thought I was gonna die when I was just having anxiety attacks,
mm,
excuse me. And I remember a year when this was happening, I talked to a random man at a coffee shop who ended up being my mentor. And he told me when he was his age, he was experiencing the same thing.
mm.
And he thought he was crazy. He would go to a clinic and he would wait. And by the time he got called by the doctor, like he was already fine, So he was always called crazy about that too. But he soon realized it was an anxiety problem, And I remember when he told me that, like a weight just lifted off me. Like, no, it isn't something wrong with me. Well, there is something wrong, but it's like it's not like just me. It's not the end of the world. Like I can put a name to this, and I
Mm.
can finally start to attack it head on. Like when something's wrong in your body, you don't know why
Yeah.
you're sick. When you finally figure out why you're sick, you can get an antibiotic, you can get a certain medicine to attack that sickness. And it's kind of the same way. But I think this will help a lot of kids that feel the same way, man. And I pray that it does for real. So yeah, man.
Yeah. Yeah, that's really good stuff. So do you have a personal favorite on the album, and then do you also have one you think that will perform the best if it's different than your
Mm.
favorite?
So I think my favorite is probably Blame. Um, just because of the writing in the verse. I love the flow of it. I love the rhyme schemes, but also the content of what I was talking about. The idea of who's to blame for this. For this what I'm feeling. And honestly, I think the one that's gonna pop off obviously is Arthur Morgan. People are gonna love that one for like that one's it's just a hitter, bro. It's just one of those joints like that's just like,
It is.
dang, man, that's just tough, you know. And
Yeah.
I think when people first hear it, because the transition going into it, and then something else happens, and then it gets into the song, people are gonna be like, yo,
Yeah.
and it was created for that moment, for that moment where people were like, yo, that's kind of crazy. So like definitely that song is probably gonna be the favorite at first, but the one that they're gonna keep going back to is definitely gonna be like um, Blame or Good Without You. The heart of the track, Trauma. Songs like that really speak to them. I think that's gonna be the ones that people run back to and give the album longevity.
Yeah, for sure. I think I can't remember the name, but the intro, well, that one was like just insane to me.
Re-
That's the one I'm probably gonna come
re-
back to the most. I can't remember the name off the top of my head.
Regardless,
Regardless,
my
oh man, that's
I
crazy.
love I love that song, bro.
That
Most
was
of the most of those tracks were produced by 1995, which is Anthony Cruz. Man, if you don't know him, like he produced like Drip Lee. I mean, that's like, but he makes like all like the indie tribe stuff. He made most of that, um, bro. But his sound is just it's crazy, man. It's
it's so
grimy and
good.
it's tough. John Keith produced on it all on one of the tracks on the project. I think I love Blame so much because it's the beat by 1995, and then the bass, it has a live bass played by Enzo
Mm.
Grand, and then it has a piano played by Kilowatts, which is Garnell. So like it's just so much that goes into it. A lot of background vocals by other friends. All the credits are gonna be probably listed at this point, but man, like it's gonna be crazy, bro. Like I think that's why I love that song so much. Also, is because of how grand it is. Coming
Yeah.
coming coming into it. Yeah.
You have a lot of like your friends and people that mean something to you on the track. The track's going to mean more to you. Kind of going off of that, do you have like any favorite memories from making this project? It sounds like this project's just been like one of those things coming a long time, but like,
So I had the project done. So this is last October,
hmm,
2021, right? I had the project done. I fly over to Atlanta with no excuse and A3 and Blaine Stevens. Um, and we go to work on some stuff with What Up RG, Enzo, who else? I mean, AC was mixing and mastering the project, mastered by Aramis, right? But mixed by AC. He was mixing the project at the time. Um, and so we were just going, but I played it for them. I played it for RG and Enzo and Biz, lead engineer at Reach, and and they said like, I feel like they said it was really good, but that it could use a lot of more elements to give it a more grander feel.
hmm,
Not me just rapping on beats, but something more like musical and intentional. And I think that trip in October, that's when we made uh, like we did all the post production done by Enzo. And you'll hear him a lot, like he does it on uh, freaking Regardless. He does a lot of synths there. Garnell also, Kilowatts also played piano on Regardless. On Blaine, doing the piano, doing the bass. Enzo was doing the bass, but like just the moment of being in the room, RG doing background vocals on one of the songs. No Excuse doing background vocals on one of the songs. Like just everybody coming and contributing to this thing that I came uh, and presented and played for everybody, and everybody helping out to just make it better, and just add their own little element to it, uh, in a way that fit. I think that is a moment that I always cherish, because it's like dang, they're really like putting, could like doing, like care enough to contribute and make sure this is the best that it could be. And that was October 2021, bro. And that was a really good trip, bro. And I'm glad that a lot of my friends got to be a part of this project. It's really like a stamp in time.
Yeah, that sounds like a just like a crazy trip and like something that would mean a lot. That's like really cool, and I'm glad you had that experience. And kind of speaking of like just a lot of people beyond this project and stuff, I thought the features were like just super well picked. Every feature had like a really good purpose and was really well done. But one that like I didn't expect, and that really stood out to me was Mowgli.
Yeah.
I
Right.
mean, I'm obviously a huge Mowgli
I see
stan.
him. I see
I
him.
mean,
I
like,
see him.
so like when I saw that, I was like, ain't no way, you know. But like,
Yeah.
how did that come to be? Like, how did you get in touch with Mowgli? Like, what was the song? Like, all that stuff.
Right, man. So I think early on, a lot of people were just very supportive of me. Mowgli being one of those people. Whether it was Michael showing in my music, or I don't know how it came to be, but we exchanged numbers, and it was just merely like him trying to support me, and show me love in that way. And if I had like, because he's super wise when it comes to like business side of music.
Sure.
So I would ask him questions about like publishing and things like that, and I told him like, yo, like again, this is most of these songs have been done, and
Mm.
I've had them in this order. And I played him the project, or I sent him, some songs that I liked from the project. And that one in particular is like, bro, if you ever do a remix to the song, like let me know, like I would love to be on it. And I'm like, bro, like, we're still working on it, like let's do it. And it was just within that week, he was able to do a bridge on it, which is, I love it, man. Like he really like understood what it needed, and he really contributed to the messaging of the album.
Mm.
Because and that song in particular, because at first that song "Good Without You" sounds like a breakup song, which in a sense it is, but instead of breaking up, we're breaking chains,
Mm.
so it's literally, so long, so long, you were never worth it all along. All of the worry and all of the pain that comes with anxiety. Like finally, like standing up, setting your foot down, and taking captive of those thoughts, as it says in First Corinthians, I think. I had it on my phone. But yeah, I think First or Second Corinthians is New Testament for sure. But yeah, man, dude, and I couldn't be more proud of that man. Like he really like played a really pivotal part of that project. And some people may have like a mixed uh, feeling about like the rock rap, or whatever. But I think in this specific song, like he really like executed it excellently, and he really like was in his bag,
Yes,
he in
sir.
his. So yeah, and dude, most some of this project, like I was inspired by that project behind you in particular. Sad People Make Dope Music too. Yeah, the Mowgli played a pivotal part in this project, man.
Yeah, no, that's super cool. So
For
you're
sure.
performing at Holy Smoke. So like, how did that come to be, and how like did you like how long did you know like all that?
Yeah, man. Holy Smoke Fest, bro. I had mad FOMO last year. I'll tell you that much. Like I was so unfortunately, my I did Seattle Fest, which was in the same summer, I think a couple weeks before Holy Smoke Fest. And then right I think a week or two after, I was supposed to do a show at the opening of Hillsong Atlanta. you know. And then after that, I was just gonna go to Holy Smoke Fest. I wasn't on the lineup. I was gonna be in the cipher that they had, you know. But right after Seattle Fest, I think the day after, I was scared to even go to Seattle Fest in Houston, because my grandma had COVID, and I was
Mm.
like, like she may not make it, bro, and I didn't want to leave and then like me not be here while she passes, you know.
Yeah.
And again, and that's exactly what happened. I left, I did the show, and it was a great show. But the day after, my grandma passed away,
Damn, sorry
and
to hear that.
bro, um, but yeah, man. So that happened, and I had to cancel everything after that. I couldn't go to Holy Smoke. So, obviously for good reason. But I loved seeing my brothers like in CHH win, come together, and just like have such a good time, dude. To be in that crowd, to be amongst everybody, like I really just wanted to enjoy the moment. And it's crazy is in like me and Aiden love doing that, like just being in the crowds and just because that's us. Like we are those kids, we
Yeah.
were those
Yeah.
kids and we still are those kids, man. And like in Seattle Fest, I think we're big RG stands, bro. Like we're stands, especially being Mexican. Like that's our blood, So like
Yeah.
in Seattle Fest, we knew like all the leaks that had came out. So he had one of Aiden and my favorite leaks was Melatonin, you
Mm.
know, and but
Mm.
literally when we heard that song start playing, Aiden was like, "Bro, I'm going in the crowd. Like I freaking love this song. Like I don't care." So he jumped the artist fence. He jumped like the artist fence and he just went in the crowd and just started jumping and going crazy in the mosh pit to Melatonin. And he didn't even know that we loved that song so much or that we even knew this song, because he's really like, like people, I don't know why, but people think RG is like such like a Kanye figure. Like if he's like real, like maybe like stuck up, but like he's
Mm.
the most humble dude that I've ever met. And like he is just like he's not tapped in, you know what I mean? Like he's really not like seeing what everybody's saying about him and stuff like that because he's just got a lot going on, personally or just whatever, like thinking about himself less, right? Like, the mark of a humble person. But man, like, dude, we are those kids and missing Holy Smoke Fest, it was just like it tore me apart, man. I'll tell you that. So to be on the lineup this year, man, like I even hit up Michael Mobley the year prior when it was getting announced, and I said like, how can I be on this? And they're just like, nah, bro, you're not gonna be on this. Trust me. They're like, you're not gonna be on it this year. And I was like, all right, whatever. Man. I'm like, screw you, I'll show you. Nah, just play. But
Screw
nah,
y'all.
but nah, man, and they're giving me a chance this year, man, and I'm just grateful to have the opportunity to not only just be amongst like such a community at CHH and being like, you know what, like I love those moments where everybody just comes together and you see, hey, like it's that dude, and or oh, it's that dude, like and it's crazy, like so to be able to be one of those artists that are on stage representing CHH and where it's at today, like I don't hold that like to a low regard. Like that is something special to me because I am a product of CHH and I am a product of like um the culture and Rapzilla and all that. I used to be on Rapzilla's page, like looking at it, like that was me. I was that kid.
He
So
just
I
like
hold
me,
it.
for real.
Man, I hold it to a very high regard, bro.
Yeah, no, that's crazy. I'm super excited for your set. I'm gonna be that kid going crazy in there. You already know.
Hey, yes, sir.
But yeah, I'm going back to your album. I believe this is the last question we have about your album. It's called "I Love You Divine" and then a little heart. So what does that name mean? And like, why is it called that?
So I've always, since I can remember, I remember being 6, like looking at like a waking up from like the middle of the night. I was sleeping on the couch for some reason, looking at like a stained glass window and just starting to see everything move and shake around me and just having my first panic attack. Ever since those moments as a kid, my grandma has always been there. As I said, she passed away, um, in God's time, but I believe uh, too early for us. Um, God had time for her, but we just weren't ready for that. And yeah, man, she played a pivotal role in my fight and against anxiety, and literally the giving me the courage to take captive of my thoughts, and take captive of the things that hold me captive. You know, it is literally like me living out what she put into me. You know, and the
Mm.
seeds that she sowed in my life, and so obviously, we weren't ready for her to go. But this is my way of just saying goodbye. And saying like, bro, like I want to be good. And we're gonna be good, and we're doing what you told us. And her name was Diana. That translates to divine.
Mm.
You know, so
Yeah.
saying I love you, divine. You know, just thank you for what you've done, and thank you to sowing the seed into my life, and giving me the tools to take captive of my thoughts. She was yeah, man, my grandpa was a pastor, and she was a, pastor's wife, also a pastor. Um, and man, she loved the Lord with all her heart. And to the day that she died, bro, I knew, I knew she was like walking with the Lord, bro. Like she was crazy. She was a little unorthodox, a little legalistic. I mean, like all grandmas,
Like
but
all grandmas.
what I mean. But and especially the Mexican Spanish grandmas, they're different, man. But yeah, that's the name, bro. Just thanking her, telling her that I love her one more time with something that'll
Mm.
last a long time, I love you. Yeah, that's it, man. That's as simple as it gets. And you know how I said it over, it's not really like it's a lot like calling it like killing anxiety or something like that. Something like real like head ass or what I mean? Just like for the project, like just real like upfront, one dimensional. Like no, like I think it's only right to do it in excellence, and uh yeah, not be very one dimensional, and to tell
Mm.
the story of my grandma, and what she did
Yeah.
for us as kids. But yeah, bro. So it means a lot. Putting that.
No, yeah, I love that. That's super like yeah, just love, because it's such a personal touch to the album, and that's another thing that's gonna make people love the album more because like it means something to you, and then you're telling your story, and then they're gonna find peace in that too. Like it goes back to like helping other people,
Hopefully,
and I
yeah.
think that's like really, really good. I just love the name, super super awesome.
So kind of going into like more general information about you. So there isn't really anyone like your sound in the CHH scene. So, but do you feel like accepted by CHH, or have you ever felt like rejected by CHH at all because of your sound?
I mean, there's been some Coopers in my life. I'll tell you that much.
That's fair. That's fair.
Nah, like like we were speaking of off camera. I think at first a few people were up, a little bit put off by my delivery, by my voice. You know, um, maybe like being a little bit too experimental. I remember people being like, "Well, why does he sound like that?" And I just said, "No, I'm just trying to be different. I'm sorry, like I'm just trying to do something different." Um, and I think that was probably the only thing, But I feel like for being, different, I really feel like CHH has really shown me the love and support, especially the OGs. There's always those kids that are gonna trash talk, on Discord and whatever,
Yeah,
but
especially on Discord.
You're
especially on
bold on
Discord,
Discord, man.
bro. I remember being on Reddit and I searched like CHH stuff, or like I think I Got Last by Joy Vontae that just come out, and they literally made like a version without me. They're like, man, I wish that 350 guy wasn't on the song. They made like a version without me. I'm like, man, these kids. But
Dang.
and I was just like,
Man, that's
damn.
ruthless.
I was
That's
like, all
ruthless,
right,
yeah.
bro. And I'm like, okay, man. But I mean, I always wanted to be a standout figure, And you know, I'm not like Aiden where I'm like real like flashy and real crazy. I think my voice and my my style is what's gonna catch people. You know,
Mm.
not to say that Aiden's not like his style is. You know, nobody's like Aiden. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah, A3 is sick.
musically,
No hate.
like he's bro, he's great. Like people now, like he's trying to be different. He's doing like disco music and stuff, and they're giving him crap on like on YouTube and stuff. And I'm just like, bro, this kid's trying to be different, man. This kid's trying to make his own lane, and that's what I was trying to do, and that's why I feel that because I got that kind of hate or just like criticism. But again, bro, like it don't give me this music doesn't give me value, and I know like whatever the Lord gives me, He wants me to bless other people and put it out, you know, in excellence, of course. I'm not gonna just put it out and be like, oh, you know, just throw pearls to swine, or not. I mean, that's probably not like a good analogy, or just like make a rap song, don't even mix it, don't even do any like not caring about what you're doing because obviously we're
Yeah.
representing God, so you want to
Mm.
do it in excellence and represent Him well. But
Yeah.
um, in doing that, bro, like I said, there's always those people, but I'm really happy that CHH has really embraced me, and you know are proud to call me CHH. You know,
Mm.
and I think
Yeah.
that was one of my. If I can tell you a story, like when I first before I made like Resonate and all that, which is like in 2020 or no 2019, 2018. You know, I had to talk with one of my friends that was real deep in the industry, more CCM, like for King and Country, like he knew
Okay. Okay.
people like in that kind of in that kind of lane. So he's real deep in that. And he was telling me like, bro, you do not want to be in the Christian industry. You do not want to do any of that. Like, just screw that. Like, just be an artist. Don't do CHH. Just be an artist. And I was like, yeah, I mean, whatever, you know, like I'll do that. But you know, this dude's mad prideful, bro, and he knows what I'm talking about. Like he's just real, like we call it Derko. Like he's hard headed. Like he's stuck in his opinion, not prideful. But he's real stuck in his opinion. He has strong opinions. So I knew it was the Lord because this dude came back and was convicted by what he said.
Mm.
He said, on the contrary, bro, um, you are there because God wants you to be the change that you want to see. The things that you wanted as a kid, the things that you needed, you are gonna be that. You know what I mean? It shouldn't discourage you to look around the Christian music industry and be uh, like, man, what is this? Look at all these like snakes and just dirty people and just people like just going crazy. You know, like not representing Christ in any way. You know, as Thizzle said, like there's no Christian in Christian music. You know, there's no God in Christian music, only within the music, not in the industry. You
Mm.
know, and that's true. But that shouldn't discourage you. It should put a battery in your back. It should put a fire in your soul to change that and to be in the middle of that. And it may be my own zealous, you know, me being too zealous because I know Derek Miner spoke on that where he wanted to be the changer and he was young and he just got so discouraged and he just started to just you know whatever, you know, and now he's well, you know, whatever, he spoke on this. But that this is what God gave me, you know, and it's and yeah, so I may be too zealous to say that, but I really wanted for CHH to be proud, you know.
Mm.
I really wanted CHH to be like, yeah, this is Christian hip hop. This is Christian music. And look at it. And it's dope. And it's not corny and it's not, you know, whatever. And it's not just a Christian version alternative of anything. Like, no, this is quality music, you know. And I want them to be proud and I want them to, like, I want to represent us well because there's so much talent, you know, and I want us to be held to a high regard. Because when we are in excellence, you know, we are representing God in a very good way, you know, and we are like showing the world, you know, that how good God is, bro. And the fact that he can take something as crazy as hip hop and use that for his glory, bro. It's wild, man. It's wild.
Yeah.
So I've always wanted to to be the change in hip hop, and I've always wanted to make CHH proud. So yeah, man, like, yeah, I'm really happy that they're embracing me, bro, and I hope that I do make them proud. Make
No,
everybody
yeah.
proud.
I, yeah, I'm happy to hear that CHH has embraced you as well. And I like love what you're saying. Just I feel like like I've said it before here. Like I feel like the younger generation of artists, they are changing CHH for like the better. Like
Yeah.
it's more diverse sounds, more like diverse messages. Stuff that we didn't have 10 years ago. We have people like 350, like A3, RG. Like just to name three people we've been talking about, and we have so much
Hmm.
more than that too.
Yeah.
So it's really
Right.
cool to see the growth of CHH, and that you're part of it. I think you are part of the change for sure.
Yeah.
Um,
So here at CHH Hysteria, we like
Yes.
to end it off with like more of a sillier note. I just found a random question online that just stuck out to me. So the question is, so 350. If you could be a fruit, what fruit would you be and
Eggplant.
why? Eggplant.
He was. Oh wait! Don't you? I was like, he's ready. I'll be your
Nah.
peach. Don't worry. I'm just.
Oh.
Yo, oh my, nice man. Man, if I could be a fruit, dang, that's a good one, bro. Do I want to be like a tropical fruit? Oh, man, I might just be a banana, bro. Go long.
Banana.
Yo,
Yeah.
that's crazy. No, hold on. Let me,
Jeez, that's great.
let me go
man.
back. Let me go back. Man, I don't know, bro. I'm allergic to bananas, by the way. But yeah, I want to be a banana, bro. Straight up, because man, banana bread, bro. Banana nut muffins, bro. Banana oat cookies. Like, come on, bro.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
For real.
It's crazy.
No, I love it.
So,
Yeah, bananas.
What
That's a
about you?
good choice.
what about you, Cooper? What are you gonna be?
I think I'm gonna be a dragon fruit because I really like dragons, and I don't know.
Sheesh, what's a dragon fruit, bro?
It's like some
Man,
exotic
dragon
fruit. It's
fruits
like
are
$5
crazy.
pop.
I need to try that.
I've heard it's
It's
kind of
good.
bland, but if you eat it at the right time, like just before it's ripe, it tastes like a kiwi.
Mm.
But I
Yeah,
don't
it's
know,
very
maybe
much it's very much kiwi like, yeah.
Okay.
Especially the texture and everything, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm a
Well,
little bit different.
thank you 350 for coming on. It means a lot that we're able to do this interview. You're one of the artists we wanted to interview for a while, so it's really
Yeah.
cool to like be sitting here with you and chop it up. It was super awesome. And yeah, I hope your album touches a lot of people, reaches a lot of people. We love it. Really excited for it. And until next time.